Conrad, can you join us up on stage? Conrad Marino from NEAR. Unfortunately, your photo is not going to recognize. This is Chris Donovan, who unfortunately could not make it. Chris is the COO of NEAR. Take a seat where you like. There you go. And so Conrad has kindly agreed to step in here. NEAR are, along with Hedera, we had an announcement just last week on our newest members, and NEAR have joined along with Hedera, Battery Coin, and the Secret Network Foundation as our newest members. And so we're thrilled to have you on board. Look, NEAR is a really interesting participant in this marketplace, partly because of the pedigree of NEAR itself. I mean, maybe just talk a little bit about the beginnings of NEAR. It was literally an AI company, and Ilya himself was the founder, came out of the famous Google Transformers group. So how important is that to what NEAR is all about in the AI space?
Thank you, Michael. Hi, everyone. I'm Conrad. As Michael mentioned, Chris, my boss, couldn't be here, so he sent me. Happy to be here. So I work at NEAR Foundation together with Chris and Ilya on making the internet open to everyone so that we can reap off the benefits of this fantastic technology. And we saw that the AI is the new pillar of the internet, and we are super excited to be partnering with you and your team, Michael, to educate different industry leaders about blockchain and how a blockchain can empower the use cases for AI and vice versa. Regarding the point that you mentioned, Michael, about the myth, foundational myth of NEAR. So it's true, NEAR started as an AI company in 2017. Our slogan was "Singularity is near." So this is where the word NEAR comes from. And Ilya, in fact, was one of the eight co-authors of this famous paper called "Attention is All You Need," which laid out the foundation for this wonderful piece of technology called Transformers, which is powering now all the generative AI that we can find in ChatGPTs of this world.
Yeah, it's the T, in fact, in GPT, right? Transformers. So yeah, a key player, and obviously bringing a certain amount of unique insights into the problems, needs, opportunities, challenges, everything that AI poses for blockchain technology. So why don't you talk a little bit about what you're doing? I mean, we know there are problems, right? There's the black box problem of the LLMs that we are producing, taking in inputs of data and spitting out answers. We don't know what's going on in them. There is an enormous amount of concentrated power. What can blockchain do, and specifically NEAR's blockchain do, to mitigate those sorts of issues and whatever other problems and challenges you see in the
Absolutely.
future?
I think there are plenty of challenges related to centralized AI, and I think, Michael, we don't have the full day to cover all these topics, so maybe I will highlight a couple of them that we try to solve. So one is definitely around the quality of data that is powering the models. So as you know, the AI models are as good as the data that you feed into them, and what we have discovered is very often the quality of this data and source of this data is very obscure, and it can have a very big societal implications, because if you want to influence the users in one way, you just feed them with the data that you own to have the output that you desire. And what we started to do at the end of this year, of the last year, was to work very heavily on our own AI model. Actually, it will be a couple of AI models that ultimately we want to compete with OpenAI. And this is why we have invested hundreds of millions of dollars in NVIDIA chips to build our fully transparent open source model. We built a decentralized AI hub for AI researchers. I encourage every one of you to visit near.ai website to join the movement if you're an AI scientist who wants to work in a decentralized manner on building a model using our infrastructure that we heavily investing. You're encouraged to do it. And we want the models that are powering NEAR AI be transparent. This is why all our technology is built open source. This is I like the previous presentation of the lady from Linux Foundation, which is also building the open source technology. So we're moving in the same direction. The second big problem is around the economic benefits of the AI. So we do not want the Web 2 paradigm to happen where all the huge tech oligopolies extracted the economic rent from the internet and from social media. We believe that the AI, since it is powered by your data, should share the economic benefits with the users. So this is why we're also building the incentivization layer for the people who are feeding the models with their data, but also for the scientists and computer engineers that are building these models.
I just want to put a number out there in case people don't know. The number may have changed in the last month because I've been citing it for a little while now. But the top 7 companies in the US stock market, the Magnificent Seven, as some call them, market cap $17 trillion, right? This is a fundamentally problematic issue because, as we all know, a stock, a share is a currency. So the capacity to acquire any innovation that's being developed is like nothing that any other companies have ever had in the past. So there's a real risk that we end up with not just the existing power base being controlled, but future innovations, because everybody is incentivized typically by the same opportunity to make money. And now you have this very sort of VC growth-driven model. So the idea of tokenizing AI is the only way, as I can see, to get out of this sort of vicious cycle that sort of massive market power comes with it. So how do you see that playing out?
I think you touch based upon very important notion, which is tokenization of AI. Mm-hmm. So we are planning to build our AI models by building this incentivization layer. So for each AI model, there will be a token associated, which will be the economic transfer network for the people who contributed to this model, either by coding it, building it if you're an engineer, or either by feeding it with your data if you're the user of this model. So this is something that we're doing. But if I may, Michael, I think we are seeing a very interesting trend currently in the usage of internet, because in the past, people were interacting with the internet using search engines. So you go into Google, please book me the cheapest flight to Switzerland so I can go to Davos. But now we see more and more people using the AI agents to find the information that you need. And we are building also a new agenting framework where the AI agents will be connected directly with our blockchain and our wallets, which will enable the execution of the transaction. So we want to see the internet usage move from people searching for the information and then doing transactions themselves to the automation via agents, where agents can provide you with the information that you need and execute upon it on the blockchain. And I see this movement where in the past we were talking how we put 8 billion people on the blockchain to how do we put 1 trillion AI agents using blockchains.
Right. On that, what is Nia's view of how the sort of computing resource is going to be needed in all of this, right? Because billions of agents as well are going to be requiring that, and the idea that the compute is going to be centralized in, OpenAI's servers or Google's or whomever seems to me an utter impossibility, right? The actual bottleneck that you'll encounter in that. So how do you see, from Nia's perspective, and we're talking to Marta Belcher later about the storage piece of this, and how do you interact with the providers of the compute?
I think the providers of the compute for the decentralized AI are the same as for the centralized AI. So we're talking about the same set of actors, whether it's NVIDIA for the chips or cloud providers. Like Azure.
So you don't think that it's necessary that the underlying compute infrastructure itself needs to be decentralized?
I think slowly, yes, but at the moment we are not there. I think the quality of cloud providers that are decentralized are still not the same as the centralized. So as the time progresses, I hope that at least with the decentralized cloud, we will be able to store all this data in a decentralized manner. However, like currently, we are doomed to use the legacy oligopolistic infrastructure providers. But it's okay. I think it's just a matter of finding the use case and disrupting it from the capital perspective, and the tokenization of the models can be one of this.
So you're not worried about the fact that the foundational models are going to be sort of controlled by these guys. I mean, in some respects, the intersection between that control of the compute and the control of the model are inseparable in my mind. You think there's a capacity to break free of that, essentially, by building on top of the compute that they have?
So if we build our model, then of course we'll have a decentralized model. But currently, even the agents that we're using as part of our agentic framework strategy are using OpenAI models and Llama models. So we are at this situation where there is no other alternative, to be honest.
Yeah. So, Mariano, how much time? Sorry, how much you got? 1 minute. Okay, good. Good to know. So, it's okay. You're doing well. It's all good. So, what's next? Anything? Just we've got 1 minute left. Just give us an outlook for what is coming down the pike from NEAR that people can look out for.
Absolutely. So, there are a couple of products that you can test yourself, right? So, one product is our NEAR AI assistant, where you can give the instructions to your AI assistants to launch a meme coin that you want to see and list it on one of our DEXs. So this is like a small use case if you want to become crypto billionaire like our current new president, Donald Trump. Another thing that I really encourage you is to follow us on social media, especially stay tuned for the announcement that we're going to publish around ETH Denver. We are going to ship a really cool solutions to decentralize the existing infrastructure for AI.
DAIS will be at ETH Denver as well, so anyone who's going to be there, we'll make sure that there's some big news to be broken there. All right, Mariano, thank you for keeping us on track. And thank you very much, Conrad, for that time.